What do you think that students get wrong about leadership, given your experience that you've had so
Hmm.
far?
Yeah. The biggest leadership role that I hold right now, I've mentioned it earlier, was the Dean Student Advisory Council. And I'm president of this committee. I joined it as a sophomore. And um, I have I guess, rose in the ranks ever since, but I've just stayed involved in it. But now that I'm the president, I kind of am the leader and lead a group of students who look to me for responsibility, who look to me for guidance and leadership. And it's interesting because I thought I knew what a leader was before I entered this role. And I totally did not. And it's crazy because once you're in a leadership position, you learn what a leader is first-handedly, and it's different from what we've been taught. You get this experience, and one thing that stands out to me is having the self-control to not do the work yourself, but assigning it to other people and giving responsibility to other people, because and not having that urge to just do it yourself and be the micromanager. I'm not saying that I'm a micromanager at all, but it's so easy for me to, and that's kind of like the lifestyle that I'm so used to, is just do it all yourself. Like as a business owner, I do everything myself and I'll ask for help if I need it. But as a leader now in the business school, my job is to give responsibility and give work to other people who want to help me, right? And that's why they are also involved, is to help out and to take responsibility. So it's hard for me to take all this work and distribute it to everyone and take a seat back, take a step back and really look at it and say, okay, I trust that you guys are going to do work. I know that you're going to do good work. But it's like kind of taking a step back and like being comfortable with not having full control, and being comfortable with it's not going to turn out the way you would do it specifically, but it's going to get done and it's going to get done right. So as a leader, that's the one thing that I've learned, that you have to be comfortable with not having control all the time and not being able to do the work the way that you would want to do it. And can I add something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. On the more personable side of leadership, how to manage people is something that I've learned. Like I said, I manage and lead a group of students who are my age. All of them are my friends. So that comes with a whole nother level of responsibility, keeping them accountable, making sure that they're doing their work not only right but well. And in the times that they don't show up to mandatory events or don't do their work that is required and due, like, it's hard as a leader who is also the age of people she's leading. It's hard for me to take like the friendship out of the way and be like, okay, professionally, like, these are standards that need to be met. These are your responsibilities. Let's have a conversation as to why you didn't meet your goals, why you didn't get the work done on time, like why I didn't show up to this meeting, and being lenient with them, because I understand they're students as well and they have other responsibilities, but also having a tough conversation with them and really setting goals and boundaries and the expectations back up to where they were supposed to be. That's definitely challenging, especially as a leader who's leading people of the similar age.
How have you learned to delegate better? Because I think that that's something that people struggle with, especially younger and potentially business owners as well. I've found myself doing this too, where they want to have like credit for everything essentially, and they
Mm-hmm.
need everything to be done like their way.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any ways that you have learned to be able to delegate through your time as a leader?
Yeah. Um, I've learned what delegate means through being a leader. Like, right, it was not even in my radar. Like, yeah, I knew what it meant. I knew what the definition was, but like to actually put that in practice, it was something that I had no experience in. But now, like you said, I have to be like, I'm going to repeat myself, but I have to be comfortable with giving the work to other people, even though it's going to be a little uncomfortable for me. But because everyone has their own way of doing things, like everyone's mind works differently, much different than mine. Like our brains probably work much different from each other's, but we're still going to get the work done. It's just the path is just going to look a little different. So when I give work to people, or when we were working on projects, like even like in class, a group project, the work's going to get done. Someone might do it the night before. I might do it 3 weeks before the due date. But the work's going to get done. And like having that trust in people who I lead with, the people who sit on the committee, having that trust in them that their work is good, that their work is credible, and there's a reason why they're involved, and there's a reason why that they are so successful as well, is because they do good work, and trusting that is super important when you're delegating.
Another good resource that I just thought of that
Okay.
could be good for leadership too is, besides some books by Dr. John C. Maxwell, who I had the pleasure of having lunch with here at High Point University, and I wrote
Hmm.
2 blogs about a lot of this stuff. He has a bunch of books
Wait,
on leadership.
you had lunch with him?
Yes, I did.
Oh, what? That's so cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. They have at High Point, they have a innovators thing, like an access to innovators thing. So
Hmm.
I was able to sit down and have lunch with him. But
That's
besides
awesome.
some books from him, who he has amazing resources on leadership, and I wrote 2 blogs about the stuff. Besides some of his books, there's this podcast called How Leaders Lead by
Okay.
David Novak. That one is a pretty good podcast for leadership as well. He breaks down a lot of the keys to leadership with
Okay.
some of his notable guests that he has there, which
Awesome.
is cool. That is a good one. Yeah. Thank you for
Awesome.
the
Thank you.
leadership tips as well.
Oh, absolutely. I'm still learning myself. I'm very new to this.
Of course. Awesome. Let's wrap it up here with some advice that you'd have for other undergrads who are looking to excel and do well in their life, become exceptional. What you got?
Be comfortable with risk, and take the risk, and take the leap of faith. Something that I also need to take my own advice on, but it's when you take that leap of faith, and when you enter into a risk and really dive into that, and when you don't have control over the situation and how things are going to go, I think that's where I found most success, is when I really surrender myself to the situation and surrender myself to God. That's when I really see like the most success and the most fruit from my work. So be able to take risk, be vulnerable, and get comfortable with the uncomfortable. That's how you learn. That's how you build a network, and that's how you get involved and make yourself stand out from your peers. And that's how you become an exceptional undergrad.